Stonebwoy has earned global acclaim for his distinctive and powerful performances. Now, in this moment, I feel like the diaspora is really coming of age and sharing greatness. I think for you, how do you find that how you place yourself within that kind of coming of age in music, but also allowing yourself and the music to flourish?
That would have its premises around the continent and outside of the continent. So over the past 15 years plus, my capacity would have been to see a certain light that was going to emerge in terms of a combination of cultures, in terms of sound, in terms of what we love and what we listen to. Whereas in terms of 15 years back, you realize that what I can capture would be a typical African music scene dominant in Africa, or African music more dominant, where Afrobeats, wouldn't be Afrobeats 15 years ago as it is sounding now. A certain identity form of in terms of how he would call it on his radio shows, etc. So he would play a lot of R2Bs, he would play a lot of Wizkids, he would play a lot of P-Square, who were the foundation of proper pop when it comes to some twins shaking the whole globe. But they were also very well inspired by the pop and R&B industry, where if you find their creativity, you know where they're tapping in from. So I think this whole conversation can go on and on and on, but all I want to just make sure is that we have gotten to an age, like he's saying, where now the hybrids have come to stay. Where we have artists like Moliy. She's a typical hybrid, if you like it or not, because that's what inspires her movement. Like it has inspired my movement 15 years back through reggae and dancehall and R&B and etc. But I gave it that vibe and that look. So today, I think we're in a very great space where it's almost going to be soon where we don't actually, because there will be so many styles where we have created amongst ourselves, and we will now accept music for what it is and where it's coming from by just identifying what the artists say they are and where they believe they come from, so that there's no such categorization of like that or that keen interest to want to box the music into a certain kind of box. It's going to free flow. So I think we are in a very great moment right now where music is flowing. It's not supposed to be, it doesn't feel so hard for a diasporian to want to say that I listen to Afrobeat music. It's not so hard for them to say, oh, I love a Stonebwoy record coming out of, wherever, and they're sitting somewhere in LA.
With the content. But concerning the music, I just knew I wanted to create something super energetic. I think a lot of people know me for making Afrofusion music, but I'm a lover girl at heart. So if you hear my sounds, most of the time it's chill. I'm talking about my man, I'm talking about my heartbreak, super chill stuff. But I'm like, you know what? This time I want to make people move. So that was the intention behind it. People back home appreciate it, kind of contributed to the success of it being global. So I'm super excited. I'm embracing every single moment. I'm keeping track of all the countries and all the stats. I'm like, okay, I see you. I'm gonna come through. Honestly, I think it's amazing. It feels super, super validating to be appreciated.
Moments that really push me to the global audience. These key moments we're always working towards and finding avenues to be able to push them, so it's not like it's automated. As I sit right here, I'm looking at some global audience right now. So it's by taking advantage of some opportunities like this to be able to reach the global audience, yes, one. And then secondly, with the music itself, it is created with the mentality of inculcating everybody inside of it, owing to my individual, bringing the individual inspirations, which capture both tastes that the global audience can appeal those that a local audience can also appeal to. So these are indices and factors that have always contributed to putting me in front of the global audience, because there's a need for a certain connector. Because if they can't connect, then they can't relate. You know what I'm saying? So there have been several moments, and I've stated this as an example. There have been several festivals that have been built to come and showcase festivals concerning my style of music, you know, the styles of music that I embody, which will be like the summer jams in Cologne. I've been on that 3 times, you know, on the main big stages, you know, so that gives you that exposure, and that also tests your capacity as a creative, because there's a different thing sitting in the studio creating, and there's a next thing starting. What I really want to say is that music is music. Music is a spiritual tool that connects and transcends colors, you know, except you're deliberate about hating the music, you can't stop it, because it really goes through the unconscious before you realize it. But if you're an open spirit who can connect to waves, sounds, whatsoever, I think that once the music is presented in a way that you can connect to, then, you know, you wouldn't know who's listening to your music. All the way in India, somebody is messing with my sister's music right there. And I saw a friend of mine, TJ, who was a Jamaican reggae dancehall artist. I don't know if she's seen. You've seen TJ and his fam. That's my G. Doing to the thing, and I'm like, whoa, that's it. You know, so that already would capture the dancehall elements a long time ago. So it's not because I'm sitting here. Like, you have had to be influenced by dancehall. You have had to, whether subconsciously or consciously, because these are genres of music that extinct from the music of black origin that you can't feel like not connecting to. When you start taking it from element to element to element, you realize how we are and how we all represent music of black origin globally. You know, that's how I trust that the waves that the African music is making today in the West, right? They're not Africans who are moved over there, like in terms of, okay, let's say a Stonebwoy has a show or something. We don't have to carry Africans to go fill up the places for the Africans to come and perform. You find Jamaicans, you find Trinidadians, you find the whole Caribbean community and the Black American community, because they can relate, you know, and even black, white, purple, they would have hit the bars. And so, of course, I'm coming to the dancehall situation. You know, we've had a song before you had your song. So why are you trying to put me on the edge? So it's already done, it's being done. We have a collaboration. And she can attest to the fact that I called her one time before I even saw the dance content things. I'm like, no. I was playing it and I'm like, I need to give it to Moliy to release. I said that a long time. So it's always been that supportive guy that anybody knows me that I am somebody who loves to support, and I don't shout about it enough. That's one of my problems. But 2025 is the year of the torture, so you guys are going to be seeing me be more vocal on some things that I know, which is the truth. See it?
Do that for it to not be received. It hasn't always been received. I've been overlooked a lot, and sometimes that might make you deviate or, you know, go on a different path. But for me, I guess I've been lucky enough, blessed enough to just do what feels natural to me, and for it to take its own natural course and be accepted in its own due time. For me, it's about being in the right place at the right time and in divine timing. That's what it is. I think that feels better than anything else, than being something I'm not and it being accepted, you know, globally. Yeah.
In Ghana, but I do travel about, you know, spreading and preaching the vibe of Africa as we are as a people, not only via entertainment, but also try my best to capture the geopolitical, you know, framework that is also happening, because it goes hand in hand, you know, irrespective. So putting together the 9th edition of the Beam Festival was a blessing, because Decota can tell We dropped an album on the 22nd or the 24th of October. These 2 dates, you know. And I think technically it would have been a short time remaining to pull off an event on the 22nd of December, which gives you 2 months, literally, you know, including preparations, including promotions and securing, you know, guest artists and etc. It would have almost been impossible for me to pull through. After having done the stadium the year ago, you know, or months ago, so I was like, I think we'll just focus on the album, the new album, and then continue to spread that vibe as well. But then I felt like, no way. I'm always that one that pushes myself to the extreme. And then I trust that, you see, when you push yourself to that extreme, the very last one, that is where God takes over. You know? So you have to, that's what it's like I'm a practical living being of how God is waiting on that other side after you're finished. You know what I'm saying? So I used the trick again because he's a faithful one, you know, he's a faithful God, he keeps to his promises. So I pushed it to the end and it pulled through. Till this evening, I'm still looking at what happened, how it happened. Because one, financing this was like, it's a big deal. And then the sponsorship capacity here in Ghana right now is not really looking like it, you know, to say it safely, you know, right now it's not looking like it. And then also that was an election year. So you can understand that there's gonna be like some school of thoughts that would be looking at what's gonna happen after the elections, you know, the tensions, you know, that, you know, is really normal. But Ghana eventually stood out to be that very democratic nation that we are, you know, following in the footsteps of the founder of democracy, which is Yankee, you know, he's a bang. The opposition who unfortunately lost threw the towel. This would be the quickest in history, you know, and said we've conceded, Ghana wins, and that immediately brought back the you know, the stability, or that immediately drove away the tension. So everybody was like, all right, let's just go back to our normal, you know, December period that we would have dirtied ourselves, you know, in quote. So we got that 2 more weeks or a week more because our show was on the 22nd, the elections were over on the 7th, so we had a few, and during that period, I was still writing my exams, you know, so going back and forth, having to read the books to write the exams, you have to be in the helms of affairs of everything that's going on, and I'm actually really hands-on, you know, because in as much as we have a publicist, etc., you cannot be hands-on in this place right now because we do not have that level of capacity in different forms, however you know it, that would have the artist just being a creative, you know, in this place. And of course, for you who would want to really succeed beyond normalcy, you would have to also have your hands on. So you can imagine my pressure, you know me personally. My pressure was way up. And then, okay, I wrote my last paper on the 20th, then my show is on the 22nd. So we managed, that's what I'm saying, we pulled through, and it is one of the beautiful shows that, you know, imagine after doing a stadium and coming to do like a 10 to 15,000 capacity, and it was all sold, I was all choked. The crowd outside was, you know, in the love that I got. And then now, the purpose of that event has always been the Beam Festival. I mean, spell it BHIM, which is blessed His Imperial Majesty out of my consciousness, you know, my spirituality, which is always giving thanks to His Imperial Majesty, who is the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, you know, the creator of the universe. So I would always stick to my foundation as that. So it's a Beam Festival. You spell it beam, but it's really a beam. The beam that holds things together, the beam of light that brings people together. The beam, if you go check it out, you will see the various meanings of the beam. So, you know, back to that purpose. Again, it is that festival that seeks to continue to grow and connect or continue to cement the bridge that has been already built via our DNA, via our spirituality as the people, to connect Caribbean and Africa together. So already, I think few weeks ago, I'd have brought Spice to Ghana. The dancehall queen Spice, in case you don't know. She is the dancehall queen as far as I'm concerned. Songs that allows the ladies to shake their boobs on stage. Because, you know, if you know, she knows me and she wouldn't fight that. Because she wouldn't see it in a profane light. She knows me. I always have like a certain positive, you know, because that is supposed to address body shaming. Whereby some ladies feel like, my ass is too huge, I need to cut it off. My boobs is too huge, I need to cut it off. So they feel free, and when the song hit and went viral, I've seen different type of women come out to, I never get to yet, what's the, and they're having fun with it. It's giving them that, you know, to zoom out anyway. So Spice comes for that connectivity, and then Jashi from Jamaica, young and rising star, also comes in. What a Black Hero from Jamaica, you know what I'm saying, but living in LA, like, for me, it is not about, for instance, the top A-listers only, because the purpose of the festival is to connect. So for who that can be available and is also thriving, definitely can make a way. And therefore, these brothers came, and then when Jashi's team was coming, they brought Spraga Benz. And I don't know, Spraga Benz is a legend from the movie, you know, and then music as well. So I would feel fulfilled a little bit, if not at all, to know that once upon a time, this young chap that was inspired by different styles of music like Moliy would be, putting it together, is now able to put together a platform, a huge platform that would have international artists from the Caribbean come home and feel that energy that they're loved, you know, that the music is connecting. So that's what I feel about it, and I think it's a great thing, and I believe that I'll be able to continue this now that people know what purpose it is. It's not like just me coming out to do a concert, like my concert, but it's supposed to be a platform that when I'm gone, when I'm probably weak and I don't want to sing anymore, I can still be in the back and see teams run it and make sure that it becomes like that festival that it's supposed to be, to bridge the gaps between our culture, providing platforms for us to showcase our talent and etc. So I hope I answered along the way the question. Thank you. I go in to perform for every crowd and I see them as the same. I do not go into any show thinking that these people know me so much so that I can just feel complacent in a way. I always go trying to make sure I beat the mark in terms of making somebody happy, because there's going to be somebody in there that doesn't know you. There's somebody that doesn't give a fuck. You know, we have people who come to shows and they come all different types of mentalities, and it is your responsibility to be able to feed each and every one of those to a fair share. So in performance, I receive it. I take what she's saying as one of the best performers, but I won't limit it to Ghana. I open it up to Africa and eventually the world, you know, because aside being awarded for that a few times, MTV Mama, etc., you know, here and stuff, these are the things that problems why it's hard for us as a people to actually have a unified and formidable front to be able to change some causes and some situations that we go through as a people, because the leader is gonna be betrayed in any time soon. That is one of the problems. So it's difficult.